Okay, hello, Tyler Bryden here. I hope everything's going well. I'm dating myself, but we're coming up here on the end of 2022. It's been quite a year for anyone involved in it. I like to take a little bit of time at the end of the year to do a reflection. And I think one of the best ways to do that reflection is to focus on the positives and think about the things that you were grateful for in that year. And so this has been an exercise that I've done for many years. Some of these end up, maybe personal notes on my computer. Some of them end up on sort of content on my website. This one's actually a mix of both. It's got an article around it where I've structured some of this information thoughts. It's been a very good meditative, reflective journey. And then I'm recording this video now. And while I'm asking myself, what am I grateful for in 2022 and going through sort of my own personal experience, I'm hoping that reflection has some impact on you. I hope that you can find, your own sort of meditation on what you're grateful for in 2022. And it's also just sort of a celebration together as we end this year. And at the end of this, I'm spoiling that, but one of the things I am most thankful for is you. So if you're watching this video right now, or if you're, if you're reading this article, somehow in this crazy universe, we have connected, we've intertwined. You may like it, you might not like it, but it means a lot to me. I get so much inspiration from you, and it means a lot that somehow we're bumping out there in space and time. And so thank you very much. Now, this is sort of an iterative journey. It's one of those things where you start it and it's a lot bigger task. And I think that's a good thing. It's one of those things where you're like, wow, I have more things to be grateful than I even thought. And I have this, and I'm not going to pull it up on the screen, but I have this Google sheet, and I've talked about it in a couple other articles, which sort of it's super interesting. It's like goal, date that I want to achieve that goal, the priority level of that goal from 1 to 10, the percentage of that accomplished. And then even with the date, I can see what age I'm going to accomplish that, and then how many days I have to accomplish it. And so that goal sort of planning actually really helped me structure. And now I did that in the start of 2022, but even in that, it allowed me to sort of execute on several of these goals. And I have some of them here. Save $5,000 for down payment. I achieved this in 2021 and actually bought a house, which was a huge goal of mine for many, many years, one that had eluded me for many years. Get a dog. Very happy to talk about that. Some loans that were paid off, some credit score gains, student loans, and then a couple other pieces here, an exercise room and things that, some of these might seem minor, but are like pieces that can be put together to then drive the execution of even the bigger goals that are down the road. And so I wanted to share a couple things, and I've got some images. This is almost like a PowerPoint, but it's like a blog post instead. So the first thing that you're going to see here is a picture of myself and the lovely Monica. She doesn't like this picture. I think she looks absolutely beautiful in it. I have rasterized, I've overprocessed these images because this web page was getting massive, and I feel sad about that, but I hope it looks okay to you, and I hope she's as beautiful in this image as she is to me. I love Monica so much. She has given me so much joy in my life, and when you have a partner that makes life this easy and fun, everything around gets so much better. So I'm so thankful for Monica. We've got a lot of exciting stuff ahead. We've got a journey to India coming up in less than 20 days here, and I think I'll be back here in 2023 with relatively the same intention or same sort of thought process around her. Now, what's killing me as I'm doing this is I have Google AdSense on the page, and so I'm seeing ads come up, and you are now seeing these ads. I've tried to remove as many as you are. This is, I guess, the browsing experience of someone who's on the site. And you know what? I'm thankful for Google AdSense because it made me a bit of money this year. Just another nice little picture of her. And I just thought this was sort of a thought that I had, which is, first of all, super wise person, deeply inspiring, resilient, and beautiful. But just this idea of where she supports me being the true version of myself and these crazy ideas that I have right up until the point where it should no longer be supported. And then she will support me in that. And there she is tapping on the door. I'm actually recording a video. And so again, a lot of great stuff that is ahead of us, including this trip to India. We had a ton of fun in the summer, and in this house that we moved in. Also was a huge milestone in 2022. dog, Tasia, super happy with him. A little fluff ball, Tasia. Taj, it means a mix of sort of light and fast in Sanskrit. And he is both of those things. We've gone on runs together. Our relationship is starting to become even more and more like strong. I love him so much. I'm going to have to leave him in India, which is devastating. But I know that we'll come back and we'll reconnect, and I will be staying with him at home because I just love him so much. And it's just like, anytime, you have sort of stress build up in the day, you can just look over and see this little fluff ball of love and how happy that makes you. It's a really amazing thing. I've got a picture of my family here. We had the first family picture in a long time. We can see a bunch of us here. And it was a pretty big year for the family. We had one really sort of devastating death in the family with Jimmy, which was really hard on the family, but was also an amazing moment to see the family come together. My grandpa ended up in the hospital. He sort of had an infection, and it had impacted already. He has been struggling with memory, and this infection just exponentially had made it worse. And it was really tough because the family had to see him in a state where he was not the version of himself that he used to be. And to me, my grandpa has been one of the smartest people I've ever met. I've just listened to his stories, and I owe him the sort of the wisdom and curiosity that I have in my life because of him. And so it's hard to see people you love lose some of that, and it's also a sort of reminder that life is finite, and to enjoy the time you have with the people that you love. And I laugh because I put this at the end in the writing, but it's like my grandpa, he sort of punches me. I try to hug him. He's not very affectionate man sometimes. And I went to give him a hug, and he sort of punches me in the stomach. And on Christmas, I did the same thing. And he sort of gave me a real hug this time. And so that was a really nice moment. And I had written that before that. I said I'd hug him and I'll keep hugging him. And I'm glad to see that happen in Christmas. And my sister, I should have a picture directly of her here. I have them somewhere. I'll add it. She got engaged. A great guy named Ethan, who I really enjoy his presence. He's an awesome guy, and obviously cares deeply about my sister. I can tell by the photo shoot he did with her from this. And my sister and I, we had some trauma from seeing what a bad marriage can be with my mom and dad. And for a long time, I thought neither of us were very skeptical about marriage and life and kids and all this stuff. And it's really amazing to see that transition happen for my sister, and her to meet the right person, and some of those inhibitions sort of fade away in a positive way. And as I move on here, I'm really lucky. I got to do some traveling, and I haven't really got to do that much traveling in my life. Obviously, COVID really shut things down for people. But then before that, I was just sort of locked up in a basement working on my first business. And I just didn't make much time for it. I didn't prioritize it. And I always had excuses. And so this is a picture here. If we look, I've got Robot Heart and Mind Warrior. We did this in the morning. So we had all stayed up all night. This was a long one, and had just an amazing time at Burning Man. It was a 3-year hiatus. I had gone originally in 2019 and then got to come back in 2023. Real high expectations, and with that sort of return, and it was a tough year, to be honest. It was amazing time, but extreme heat, dust storms, a massive exodus, and I think just those high expectations of coming back after so long. And I think anyone who can go in with those high expectations, you can learn a lesson throughout that. And I shared a bunch of videos on that, so you can check those out. I really enjoyed making that series and got some great feedback on that, which was awesome. And my intention there was to dance, and I danced hard. I'm glad that I achieved that. It was a super meaningful time, because I had felt this sort of male-induced rigid dancing and shame at the first Burning Man that I went to, and I wanted to come back and be over that, and I was able to. And it might seem like a small win, but to me it actually meant a lot, and I'm very glad that I did it. And couple other sort of travel things that I just did not know was coming, but we got to go to Portugal for Web Summit. And that was an amazing trip. Two things at once. You had Web Summit, which I've got a video here for, and then a personal travel experience. I should add a couple more pictures of Portugal itself, but it's just like, it's such a beautiful place. 10 days we did there. If you're there, go to Sintra, check out those castles, Pena, De Quinta, and then there's some amazing drives along the coast that I just, really changed my perspective on just how beautiful this world is and how we can live life differently. And after that, we were lucky enough to go to, Vatso and I were also lucky enough to go to FounderCon, which was a Techstars event that has been put on every year and brings all the Techstars founders together. And it was in Oakland, California. And what it also allowed us to do was explore San Francisco. And to me, San Francisco was sort of this mythical place that I had always wanted to go. Obviously, a lot of love for Silicon Valley and then just the actual innovation, the people there. This is a picture of me I took on Twin Peaks looking at the sunset. And I just loved also what I found was amazing, great people there, but also a reverence for nature. And to me, the elevation, the water, the cliffs all along, and did a drive from Santa Monica all the way back to San Fran. Something really spoke to me, and I still think about it often, and I think about maybe returning one day, and maybe more than returning. A couple other things on that. Got to go up to Cottage. Amazing time with my mom for her birthday. And I think we did the perfect time frame. Leave, having an incredible time there. The nature of up north in Muskoka. That's a beautiful, beautiful place. Even further than Muskoka, actually. And something that I'm very happy and privileged to experience. And something, thank you. I'm going to thank you, Mommy. And just speaking of that, I talked about the family ahead, but you get a bit older and you just cherish your family more and more. And I'm so glad that that's happened, because there's these times where you're growing up at a certain age, it's something that you push away from. And I no longer feel that way. And all the Christmas that we just came from was a wonderful time. And I'm so glad that we have a relatively normal, happy, healthy family that gets to enjoy time together. So a big milestone that I talked about was sort of buying my first house. This was, Monica and I did that in 2021, and then we moved in March 2022. Now, there were some lessons here, variable rate lessons, how to buy your first house, what to protect, a lot of things that we didn't necessarily expect that you learn as a first-time home buyer, and some of those are hard lessons. But overall, still grateful to have a place that we love and that we call home. And that was definitely true as we, spent a week or so back at a great place at my mom and her partner's, but we missed our home, and we're very glad to get home last night. So a couple other things that I think I've got some some pieces written here, but just want to one of the advices that had been given me was to, when you're building a business, and this is something that can't always be avoided, is if you can, avoid taking personally liable debt. And I did this Futurepreneur and BDC program. I still consider it a positive program, but it was a $60,000 loan. So it was in the early stages of Speak. There was some scary stuff going on in the world, and I wanted to fund the business. I wanted to pay employees, but I had to put that personal liability on myself to be able to make that happen. And that really weighed heavily on me for a long time. That I also put some of my own money into the business, and between those two, it was sitting around $90,000. And I made a really difficult choice in 2022 to pay off that loan, which was personally liable, and also the shareholder loan. And some people would say that wasn't the right choice or whatever, but for me, it gave me a place to that was breeding low anxiety, low risk tolerance, resentment, short-term thinking, and it was not supportive of a good life or a good decision-making path in business. And so I really struggled with that, and to pay that off, to open up a place where I could operate from, clarity, from feeling that I can build a business without this massive personal liability on it. That became a hugely freeing mechanism that has allowed me to accelerate a lot of decision making towards the tail end of the year and then moving into 2023. So very, very grateful for that. I think along with that, this was actually happened after I had made that decision. It was putting us in a really tough state as a business, but Techstars and Techstars Toronto specifically saw something in us They invested in us. They have a small team: Shibin, Sunil, Gabby, Raimundo, Alicia, but they're really an effective team. Beautiful people, and they saw something in us. They invested in us. They've been, they've helped us face hard truths, understand what we should be doing, drive growth, and also just make a ton of amazing, worthwhile intros. Now, one thing that has gone, I paid myself a salary, a good salary this year, and I had made some sacrifices going through COVID and some of these things. So that was a huge win for me. I'm not going to linger too much on it, but anyone can be grateful for that after maybe years of not doing that as much. Work with great people. This is a great shot of Vatsil, again, a little rasterized, but of Vatsil in Portugal on a cliff. He's the CTO of Speak AI. He's a rock in my life personally and professionally. I'm thankful to call him a co-founder, peer, and friend. I've got some other people that I was proud to work with. Nihal, Lauren. Nihal was, while we only worked together for about a year, just executed so well. I learned so much from him. And to me, it was one of those like, wow, I made an amazing hire here. And he became a friend. And it makes you inspired and move forward and feel responsible when you're working with great people with that. And as always, Lauren has stuck with us forever. He's been an amazing manager of all our finances and making sure that we're still alive. And then along with that, not just Techstars, but the mentors that Techstars introduced, our own mentors, and then clients and customers that we actually get to work with that speak. So I know I'm coming up about 16 minutes already. I can do this. You could do it too. If I've got some couple of quick DIY projects. These are super fun this year. This is a pyramid that Monica and I made for my sister. And it's got a dog here. It's got a wedding cake. This was a side angle for it. So it's full of 3D pyramid and then a little hot air balloon because Ethan asked my sister to get engaged in the hot air balloon. And so we made these resin pyramids for everyone in my family for Christmas. And man, was it a task, but Monica and I had a lot of fun. The joke is that we almost broke up. We didn't actually. It was just sort of fun to say. And these turned out really beautiful, and it was amazing to see the response that we got from our family from it. And a couple of these things just sort of came to life this year, and I really enjoyed, moving from off a computer to more tactile things. And this was a moss resin board that we made with a beautiful river flowing through. It was quite a while to make, but now is up on our wall in the living room, and is something that both of us are super proud of, and is always a a piece to talk about when someone enters the house. And we had a lot of fun doing that together. We also made some art, some painting experiments. Monica's a good painter. I'm not, but I tried to flex my artistic endeavors in sort of the lines of creativity. So this was Monica's. This was just natural and beautiful. I have to put some tape down and then try to do it and maybe come up with something a little more conceptual so that it can outshine the poor art quality that it actually has. And I think just, in general, for an ongoing healing journey in 2022 that has continued. That includes exercise, fasting, limited alcohol intake, almost none in 2022. Love in my life, which is a big one. Nature, microdosing, cold water, and then other, I said, sort of relatively cliche but impactful practices. And I think these are all super valuable and meaningful to me. One of those was a supercharged one, which was my first DMT experience. I did do a video on that, and I've got it embedded here, and then I'll add a link in the video so you. But man, that was a lot of information, and just the thought that sort of accessible and rapid healing space is really quite profound. Something that I did not expect. I don't know how that came together, but it did, and it's definitely a worthwhile and a moment I'm grateful for in 2022. And a couple other quick things here on that and sort of the healing journey, just nature. Like, I'm in Port Credit, Ontario. It's just outside Toronto. It's close to nature, right near the water. We have a beautiful off-leash dog park where we've shared some amazing moments with Tasia, and also just reconnected with water. And I'm a Leo, sort of fire, but I grew up on a farm where we had a pool, and I was privileged to be able to swim. And I just feel that water reconnects me with this inner child, and that's such a beautiful thing to have, and something that's so worthwhile in my life. And so by being near the lake, I've felt so many positive healing consequences to that, and something I'm so grateful for. And I've got a shot, Monica and Tasia, on the kayak, right, looking at the sunset. And many, many nights we spent out in the water doing that, and some of the most beautiful moments of my life, and something I'm, super, super grateful for in 2022. I'm coming up to the end on my scroll bar, I think. I got some hot yoga here. This was just towards the end of the year. I can't touch too much on this, but it's something that I had done a lot. I recommend for anyone who is looking for a way to get in touch with physical side, mental side, spiritual side, community, and also just some competitiveness, which is in a good way, like where you're all like, I want to hold this. Look at that amazing person holding this pose. I want to hold this pose. It really drives sort of the success of your exercise and your practice. It's something I'm super grateful for. I'll touch on two last things in this regard. Is hockey. I've had a lot of challenges with my sort of relationship with hockey and how I think about it, but I was lucky enough to meet some good guys and play in the league. I've definitely lost my touch, which is its own challenge with my ego, but it's still put me in the present moment. It's reconnected me with that instinct that I have, and also is just this great form of exercise that I'm super grateful for. And I'm going to touch on one other thing which I didn't expect, was ultimate frisbee. Ultimate frisbee I played for the first time in the summer of 2022, and oh my god, what a fun sport. As soon as I played it, I instantly connected with it. The running, the team perspective of it, the throwing, and just seeing this frisbee float, and you're, oh my god, am I going to catch this? Am I not going to catch this? And then just catching it, landing in the end zone for a point. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing, and I'm super, super grateful for the experience of playing ultimate frisbee, and I will be back in the summer. And then, I think something that's super important, new and old friends. And so no particular order. I've got Natalie and I, nice picture at Burning Man. I just love Nat. I just, we were in the same RV at Burning Man. We did not know each other. It was her first experience. And then she just had this thing where it was like, I could say whatever crazy thing came into my mind, and I knew that she would laugh at it. And that's a good thing to have. And then that connects me with Bryden, who is her fiance, and also was in the RV with me. And he's just a solid guy, very empathetic, very in touch, what I think is with sort of like the feminine masculine like dichotomy. And I just thought a very thoughtful, empathetic, caring person. And I'm so glad to meet him. He's a very good person to call a friend. We had a great time at Burning Man in 2022. Aaron and Bhavna, they were friends with Monica before and came from India. They stayed at our place for 2 weeks. By the end of those 2 weeks, I just loved them so much. They've taken care of Tasia on several occasions. They've got a big one coming up as we go to India, and I just love them so much. They're great, great people, and I'm so glad they're settling here close to us. Couple other people, entire Burning Man crew, Nick and Luke, Davey Lee. I know there's way more in this list, but Davey Lee, just a mentor that came through who had previously done Techstars and sold his business. I just really resonated with him. And thank you for all your insights this year. You helped me with a lot of things. Turning 30 years old, man, I get caught up in a milestone sometimes. 30 years old felt like a big one, but didn't hit me as hard as like 21 did. Even 25 hit me. I think I've detached a little bit from that. I'm just living and flowing through life, but I'm still grateful for making it here and being 30. A couple last things to close out this all grateful party here in 2022. Generative AI. If you know me, you knew I was going to probably say something about this. Huge trend in artificial intelligence, culmination. Decades of work. We got a lot ahead of us here, but it's this beautiful sort of merger of human creativity, talent, and then just machine computational power. And it just inspires me greatly. I was hacking away trying to figure out how to accomplish a few things in this space before this really emerged that make me feel like an idiot now. But at the same time, it's just like beautiful, beautiful thing. And it's going to be a crazy, crazy year. I'm going to do a video on the predictions for 2023. And this is one of those top sort of areas of predictions that I think is going to be pretty huge. And I've also got YouTube. So I'm recording this video. I'm going to upload it on YouTube. 70,000 views this year. Almost 3,000 hours of watch time. Almost 700 subscribers. I started posting halfway through the year. Some pretty big spikes there a couple times. And I'm just really grateful that I actually, came up with the drive to do it, the consistency to be able to continue doing it, that I got actual real feedback from great people like you. All of that sort of culminated for me to continue, and I'm really excited for this journey with some goals around creation in 2023. And in this last piece, it's just you again. And so if you're checking this out, somehow we've connected here, time, space. I'm grateful for that. I love you. I hope you had an amazing 2022. And I hope that this sort of reflection that I'm doing on what I'm grateful for has, helps you in your reflection. And I hope, we can all be more grateful in our lives. It's a weird, crazy ride that we're on, but it's beautiful. It's it's not always easy, but when we get to share it together, when we get to grow together, and when we also take the time to reflect and even put a list together like this, you're like, wow, there are so many things to be grateful for. And for that, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day. I hope you have an amazing end to 2022 and an amazing 2023. Bye-bye.